I can't tell you how much this organization means to me, and I am so excited for her and happy for her winning this award. 5 years ago, I decided as a basketball coach we'd start raising funds to help for materials and for mailing, and we were fortunate enough to do that. I'm hoping that this next year I will also do the same thing with my coaching and get my team to raise money for Betty Nielsen and the Quilts. Betty and her husband are both former servicemen. I mean, they've served. She does this entirely without pay. All the Freedom Quilters volunteer their time. And once I met her, I became convinced that I am going to do fundraising and work for her for the rest of my life.
It got started right after 9/11. In fact, it started the night on 9/11. The tragedy that I was watching on television just hit my heart, and I felt a need to reach out to those families that were hurting.
After 9/11, after the Twin Towers went down, Betty was watching them on TV and she wanted to do something. She didn't know what, so she started making quilts. That's what she thought, sending blocks to different people. And then finally we started making quilts, the completed quilt. And one thing led to the other, and here we are today. She since has expanded to military families and has handed out and provided well over 6,000 personalized quilts to families to help comfort them in their loss.
Every year in April she has presentation to the families of the fallen soldiers. And you see those people, and I mean, it is such a terrible tragedy in their lives to lose one of their loved ones. And when they see that the people that they didn't even know felt enough compassion for them to make a quilt for them, and such a personal quilt, that it helps them.
It's touching. People cry. I mean, the first time I was here, it's just too emotional for me. I mean, they tell about how they wrap themselves in the quilts and how they feel that people love them, that they care about their pain.
It's just good to know that you're giving comfort to families, and a piece of you is going. I hand quilt mine. I love to quilt, so every time I sit and do one, I just feel like part of me is going somewhere to give somebody comfort.
It makes you feel good, especially when we see how the families appreciate these quilts. And we have a good time together. It's fun to meet with the different ladies from different areas, and we just have a good time together while we're working, and it's kind of uplifting.
And if I don't come at least once a week, I get withdrawal. I really do, because they're a fun group. Very much so.
This is a great way to help, and we have a lot of fun.
I like it. It's fun. We have a good time, and plus we're doing a good deed.
Betty and Danny are very dedicated to this ministry. Their hearts are really in it. They give of themselves so much for this ministry, and they have such a deep feeling of support for the veterans and their families.
It needs to be spread, the news of what they're doing, because it's such a wonderful thing that they're doing.
I just love every moment I'm working with her. I love to quilt. She's such a caring, giving, generous Christian woman that she's been a real joy in my life.
Once you meet this lady and realize the passion and the care that she has, every quilt she does is done with a touch of love from her. And it's an amazing thing.
We're not doing it for the recognition. We're doing it for the family members.
These quilts do touch every single one of these families, and just the tears alone when we receive some of the letters from the families, it is making a difference. It is showing that the country is united and that people, strangers, are caring enough that they want to do something special for these families. And believe it or not, it does make a huge difference.